My next to do here is I have the privilege of introducing John Scandar and two guests from Firestone Direct. I'll let John do the introductions of our customers and the project itself. A very creative and interesting project, so I look forward to sharing that story with you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody, for joining on this session. And without ado, I'd love to have you introduce Angie and James. And thank you so much for coming. And you have such a great story. Can we start right away with introducing yourselves?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. I'm Angie Olesen. I lead the Firestone Direct team. That is our mobile tire and service team, part of the larger Bridgestone Americas company. James?
James Whitfield, thank you so much. Very glad to be here. I work with Angie closely. My role with Firestone Direct is the Director of Field Support and Systems. I was part of the founding crew, if you will, back in April of last year. There's about 4 of us that were pulled in to start this exciting adventure.
So can you tell us about Firestone, the story, the Firestone Direct story, the concept, where it came from, the new model?
Yeah, I'll start it out, but I think James will add a little color and commentary on it too, because as he said, he really was a founding member at the table. I joined the organization about a year ago, so maybe I'm a rookie in this group, having only a year in with the team. But I think, the origin really was fueled from a change in leadership and a change in our North Star direction as a Bridgestone organization. Our new CEO, who joined in 2019, Paulo Ferrari, is very focused on mobility solutions and bringing value to the customer. At the base, we are still a core tire organization. We're clear on who we are, but we want to bring value-added services, solutions, and systems to our customers. And one of the many things we are doing is, a mobile tire solution. There are many startups going on in the organization right now, and we are one of several. And it is quite interesting to be a startup inside of a large organization. But James, I think I've heard you say several times how, you got the phone call and we're told, hey, what can we do in 100 days? You've got to share that piece of the story as well.
Yeah, sure, Angie. Thank you. So the way I tell it was that it was about 16 months ago. It was in April-ish of last year. Me and a guy by the name of Dan Cox, who's our director of strategy, got that Mission Impossible call. It was like, your mission, should you choose to accept it, Mr. Ferrari wants, 20 vans, and he wants a website with where customers can land on it, shop for products and services, check out and schedule an appointment to have those services delivered by said 20 vans. And then he wants them in 100 days. And so 100 days was July 20th. And so we had that big date in front of us. And on the first week of July, we signed contracts with our partners. It took us from basically May, June to identify who our partners were going to be, and we signed contracts in the first week of July and started coding. We hit our 100-day mark with 1 van and a website where customers could land, shop for products and services, and schedule an appointment. And with and we'll talk about this more, but with the help of Alithya and some other partners, 2 months to the day of signing contracts, we launched version 1 of our website and integrated systems.
That's incredible. And so with this change, I have to ask the COVID question. Maybe you can talk a little bit if COVID affected the decision and the new world we live in along the way.
Yeah, COVID had multiple impacts on us. Some have been actually very positive. Obviously, as you think about a mobile service and, the consumer desire to have a totally contactless service, you can have that with a mobile tire, service coming to your home. We can do this service contactless thanks to the technology that we have. But it also impacted us in our ability to, get and procure the vehicles and find teammates and, a million challenges that we encountered. In fact, one of the things that I inherited when I joined this team a year ago was, 101 problems that we had thought through. We didn't think through COVID problems, and they did create additional challenges. But frankly, we turned those challenges into opportunities. And we have a quote that James is known for that says, everything is figure outable. And that's what we've done through this. And our partners have joined us in that. Our partners no longer feel like our partners. And I think COVID played into that. They feel like part of our team. And that is very, very true of Alithya and frankly, Microsoft in this, because we have gone through COVID, we've gone through a startup, and we have something real on the heels of this right now, and we're really servicing the customer. So COVID's had a huge impact, and most of it, having come through to this point, has actually been positive.
That's great. And so if I was to say, you said it, you're a startup, but you're part of one of the largest tire companies in the world. So where do we go from here? And you hit the first $1 million. Where do we go from here? What's the potential?
You want to take some of that, James? I have a couple of things to probably add, but you take a little.
I go back to the Mission Impossible. I'm a big thinker, and I think, sky is the limit. I shoot for the moon, or shoot for the stars. I'm going to land on the moon, right? So I look at this. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, Paul or John, that the world is changing, and people, while people are very sociable, we also like to be safe. And I think that with the automotive or mobile automotive tire and services, it's been tried several times for many years. It's hard to get it started because technology isn't really big in the automotive space. And so people are left with building their own platforms. And they're typically startups small. Bridgestone getting involved, a complete game changer for the industry, both in the US and really globally. And, when you think about what's next, what's the option or what's the opportunity, there's, Bridgestone isn't a US-based company, right? We have Bridgestone Americas, which covers all of the Americas. We have North America, we have Latin America, but then we have sister companies in Europe and Australia and Asia. And so we're working on the playbook. Really, Firestone Direct started up, and we're now working on the playbook for how can we duplicate this. We've been working with Alithya, with our Firestone Direct LA or Latin America team, as they kind of go through the genesis of their model and their product as well.
Right.
Yeah, and I think global is a very big part of that. For us in the US, we're going to double in size next year. So going from 9 markets to 18, from 60 vans to 120 plus. That sounds fairly simple, but this is also the point where if we have, cracks or breaks or have not built things well, this is where manual begins to break down, and the need for technology really is going to become even clearer and more necessary for us. So the doubling of where we're at today and where we're going tomorrow will feel very, it will not be tolerated unless we've done a really good job. I believe we have. So I embrace it and I look forward to it. But we will have to stay very closely linked as partners to, move forward seamlessly and continue to deliver the level of service. And I think that's one of the other things that I am so proud of, so very proud of. Yes, we've done a good job in sales. Yes, we're, our Bridgestone Japan is also pleased with the results we are providing. But the thing I'm most proud of is the fact that our CSAT and NPS scores are off the charts. And that comes from a great customer experience from, the moment that they schedule their appointment on their website to we show up to the moment that the bill is done. I mean, we are running at a 98% NPS score. I'm really proud of that.
That's really great. And I know we've worked as part of this process about improving the customer experience to the customer. I know that's been and as you scale, as you say, having a better customer experience, a very good one, will be key to the growth. as you say. Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about maybe just for the viewers, or the listeners, what modules we implemented and just how Alithya and Microsoft, the partners helped you get through this? That'd be really great.
Yeah, sure. Angie, you want me to take that one?
Certainly.
So as I mentioned earlier, we identified our partners in July of last year. We launched with a partner that was doing our web development and a partner that was doing our UI UX design and being kind of to help with that strategy. And we partnered with Alithya to handle our Microsoft Dynamics field service, which we refer to it as CE, as well as Microsoft Dynamics F&O. Our day-to-day system that we work in heavily is that field service platform, and so it's working with it, learning it. The learning curve was right there. Alithya resources working with us, day in and day out, working with us to learn how to use that, how to maximize that to get the function out of it that we need.
Well, that's really great. And I know we all work together, so we want to thank you. I want to thank you personally, and everybody on this phone wants to thank you for the partnership. We really, really appreciate it. We know it's a journey. We know there's a lot more to do together. And we thank you for coming and just sharing your story with us. That's really, really great. Look forward. Great.
Absolutely, John. Thank you.
Thank you. And so last thing I'd just like to say for all our viewers about the Microsoft strategy all up is if you just look at it, and clearly I'm the Microsoft guy on the phone, so I'm going to, as people smile, I have to give it a little bit of extra pizzazz. But we really believe, just like you've heard from Firestone, the total solution, if you look at all the quadrants that are out there in the market, whether it's the cloud, the Azure, the ERP, CRM, analytics, and so on, Microsoft has really, since 2003, where we started, to today, we are one of the, in each quadrant, they're one of the top 2 or 3 solutions. BI and analytics, I also missed out. So I do believe that for our customers in their digital transformation, that we have an incredible opportunity to help them as we go along. So we're very excited. The entire team is very excited. And we thank you again, Angie and James, for coming.